In this lesson, Teresa and Langchen are going to help me explore the issues of being preoccupied and afraid of getting hit when making an attack, and specifically why this fear exists. To get us started, let's look at why this real overpowering fear exists. Let's say, hypothetically, you're on the piece, you're fencing someone, and that person has really good timing and distance control. They're landing lots of touches, they're being consistent in their counterattacks, and this can be very demoralizing. So what do we do in response? We're busy beating the blade. We're playing off of it. We might even be doing a lot of counter time in our attacks, which is where we start our lunge and parry and start trying to get those touches off of our opponent's blade. So why is this an issue? Well, realistically, doing that creates a lot of windows. If I don't find your blade, I've lost right of way. If I do find your blade and I'm not attacking you, well, I'm starting over again. So again, we are returning to that issue. Maybe I don't find you the next time. Maybe you've hit me in the process of me searching for your blade. So this is not a great pattern. And if I'm doing counter time, and I'm attacking and I'm trying to parry as I'm lunging, I'm creating an opportunity because I'm no longer attacking you, I'm attacking the blade for you. So I don't find the blade, I don't get the touch. So we are creating the dilemma ourselves. If our opponent is doing that, we have to look at one thing and one thing alone, the tactical wheel, which is a lesson we did previously. So if our opponent is landing counterattacks against us, we don't want to do a compound attack where we create more windows of opportunity. So let's look at how that is done. So in this instance, Langchen is going to be advancing. He's going to be trying to set up his attack. There's not a lot of distance between them, but he's really worried about getting hit in his attack. So he's going to play off of the blade a lot. So as he is advancing, he's just beating the blade, beating. Because he's doing it so much and so close now, Teresa simply just lunges, makes the touch, and as you can see, Langchen is still playing off of the blade. He isn't attacking. So realistically, we can say, okay, Langchen beat the blade once, why isn't he riposting? It's because he's too worried about getting hit that he's still doubling down. All right, that's very clear. So, what can we take from this? It is a departure from our understanding of right of way. We find the blade once, great, but that's more advantage for us when we're defending. If we're attacking, we're taking the blade to prevent someone's timing for a counter-attack, or maybe they've established a line, in which case it becomes defensive again. But realistically, we're doing that to comfort ourselves. So Teresa is going to get impatient. She's going to shut him down. He's beating the blade, beating, and eventually she just goes, whatever, extends the arm, makes the touch. And Langchen has manifested that entire fear into reality. So how can we confront this? Well, use right of way. You're advancing, you're in charge. So we'll look at the exact same scenario. They're both on guard. Langchen is going to beat the blade once when he gets into good distance, and then he's going to initiate a lunge. Teresa's going to try and parry, that's perfectly fine, but Langchen is no longer concerned about getting hit, so he does just one beat and a and this way he doesn't have to worry. And Teresa's not given that window of simply extending against. It's very advantageous. So think of it this way, right of way. Use it as an applicable tool to maintain control. Don't do too many big preparations. There's lots that can go wrong there, and we're going to look at that next. Now, we're going to be looking at another example, two of them in fact, where we're looking at preparation and posture as it relates to being afraid of getting hit while you're attacking. So we looked at how Langchen did a lot of play off of the blade, beating the blade. This could be a form of preparation, but it's not what I'm going to be referring to in this instance. I'm going to be looking at how you're moving your feet. So in this situation, Langchen's not going to have to do any real serious movement anywhere, but he's going to see how many preparations I'm making, and he's going to punish me accordingly for what I'm doing. And this is happening because I'm afraid I'll get hit. So I'm being very cagey. very, very cautious. So we're on guard. I'm going to do a bunch of preparations with my feet. I'm going to start pretty standard. I'm just advancing, and as I'm getting closer, I'm being a lot more careful. And as you can see, as I'm being that cautious, I'm really watching what he's doing. I'm unable to initiate my attack in time. He's counterattacking and shutting me down. And if you're looking at this, you'll see how it ties together with the previous lesson on the tactical wheel. If you're doing a compound action, usually the best response to it is a simple counterattack. So lunge in is displacing. The last one we're going to look at is about posture. So again, if we're afraid of getting hit, a big one is I'm going to parry a lot. The other one is I'm going to keep my target as far away as possible. And this really impacts how you can attack. So again, in the on guard, Lang Chen doesn't have to move too much. And he's going to see my posture, and it's going to really profoundly impact my ability to attack. So we're on guard, and I advance, and you can see I'm really leaning away. And it's going to make it really hard for me to make a convincing attack. Now, you will say, okay, but you hit him on the back there. All right, but is it in time? Did I compress the point? These are all issues that we really have to consider if I'm really invested in that attack. I'm not too worried. Okay? So the last thing I want us to look at is how we can overcome this fear. So overcoming the fear of getting hit from the attack is being blamed. Well, simply put, remember right of way. It protects you. If we go back to a tactical wheel, sometimes simple is best. So we're on guard. I'm going to be defending against Lang Chen. He is going to attack me. So I'm on guard. He's worried I'm going to hit him. This is only really happening because I'm counterattacking all the time. So what does he do? He does a simple advance and lunges. So he's on guard and he lunges. Who cares if he gets hit? He has right of way. And let's put this into real time. So he's on guard at the on guard line. So take one and retreat back. So we're both on guard. I'm going to stay here and he's going to just play it up. He's going to advance. When he's at the distance he wants to be at, he's going to lunge. He's not going to be worried about what I'm doing. So we're on guard, and he starts his advance. He's going to set it up. I step in, and there's the touch. If he's worried, he's going to play off my blade, or he's going to stop. He's going to lean away. Use right of way. Be confident in it, and establish your intent.